G'day watchers, welcome back to the channel. And what I have here today really is this watch. This is the Invicta Pro Diver 89270B. Now this is obviously a Rolex Submariner homage, and it is this particular model that it mainly homages. This is a Rolex Sub from the late 80s, early 90s, and they kept on producing it into the 2000s, but this is the 16613LN Rolex Submariner with dual tone and solid 18 karat gold. The Invicta, of course, is not 18 karat gold. It is just a ion plated PVD treated coating to achieve that gold tone look. But really, it is this watch, this Rolex, that it homages. If you look at the case dimensions, they are essentially exactly the same. 40mm diameter, 13mm on the thickness. The Invicta, of course, doesn't have all the exact same contours. You will see differences as I compare these. But if you look at the lug width, 20mm, and if you look at the lug design, much more toward this model than the more modern super case designs that you see in the newer ceramic subs. So, really, what doubt can you have, without a doubt at all in my mind, that this is the homage to this particular model? And I think Invicta, if you direct the question at them, would certainly admit as such. So this model, as I have covered before with a previous Pro Diver, the 9094, is essentially exactly the same. The differences are just superficial. So there is a Seiko NH35 movement in Seiko watches that would be named the 4R36. Externally, it is the NH35A, 21600 vibrations per hour, 24 jewel movement. And if I can capture the case back there with the display back, you will see 24 jewel NH35A on the rotor on that mineral glass display back. So it does have the screw-in crown. You just saw me screw that back, and the screw-in case back for a 200-meter water-resistant rating. This has Tritonite loom, which is Invicta's name for their loom, and very variable in performance, sometimes almost useless to fair performance depending on the particular watch. This one doesn't particularly function that well, and I think this is consistent with what reports I've heard on forums. The glass on the front is a mineral crystal with a Cyclops date display, and because it is mineral, it will not function as well as sapphire. So if you can see the magnification on the Rolex, now that doesn't compare that well, but the magnification in hand definitely is better on the sapphire Rolex. I think this date, if I can capture it on the side there, this date wheel is printed larger, so it does appear to be nearly the same when you catch it face on. This one has a smaller print on the date, so the magnification is superior on sapphire with a Cyclops. The band is stainless steel. Again, this is not gold. It is just a PVD gold treatment on the steel to achieve that particular look. It's got pushpin construction and links, of course. It doesn't have solid end links. Those are hollow end links. And there's no dive extension, unlike all Submariners out there will have dive extension, at least all Submariners from the late 80s onwards. This one doesn't actually have a dive extension. So, Invicta Pro Diver in 40mm, what can I say about it? It's got a classic look that it has essentially taken from the Rolex Sub. And it does it, I think, pretty decently. Keep in mind that this is a sub $90 watch. Ignore the MSRP. The MSRP is something ridiculous like $795. realistically, this is definitely a sub $100 watch. And for the construction and the homaging, the PVD treatment, the movement that you get, it's pretty hard to beat at this particular price point. I think, you have no hesitation in regulating this watch myself, and I've gotten extremely good timekeeping out of the Seiko NH35 whenever I've regulated it. It's a reliable movement at a budget diver at a great price. The loom is not good, so it's certainly a weakness there. The construction, whilst it's decent, of course it is not solid. Those are pressed metal clasps, hollow end links, but what do you really expect for this particular price point? You will potentially be a snob target for people who consider Invicta to have problems, and certainly the brand has its problems, but I think some of their pieces, particularly in the Pro Diver range, which is arguably their most popular, are pretty good for what you pay. I think it is very hard to beat. Really, these watches last and last. And if you look up people's experiences, try to find a fairly objective feedback and a fairly objective user, you will find that it's really hard to equate this with any other sub $90 watch for an automatic movement with the particular level of construction that you get here. So there we have it. I thought I'd want to cover this particular model because it really so well homages this Submariner, which is one I happen to have access to. So thank you guys for watching again. Hope that's been enjoyable. Look at another Invicta. Let me know what you think, and as always, I will catch you next time.